Imagine a Namek consumed by fire, a world teetering on the precipice of annihilation. The very air crackles with an oppressive energy, a testament to the cataclysmic struggle unfolding. This is not the history we recall, but a divergent path, an alternate timeline born from a single, pivotal moment. On this dying planet, a battered and bruised Vegeta stands defiant. His body screams in protest, yet his eyes burn with an unyielding resolve. Before him looms the monstrous Frieza, radiating an aura of absolute power in his terrifying final form. The universe held its breath, anticipating the inevitable. Yet, in this rewritten saga, the outcome shifts dramatically. We delve into a reality where the Prince of all Saiyans claims victory over the galactic tyrant. This is the story of what happens when the universe's most arrogant warrior achieves the impossible. It is a narrative woven from ambition, pride, and the sheer force of will. Prepare to witness a universe irrevocably altered by a single, decisive triumph. Vegeta's spirit was a crucible forged by years of profound humiliation. He carried the weight of his race's destruction, a burden that fueled his every waking moment. The memory of his people, eradicated by Frieza, was a constant, searing pain. But beyond vengeance, a deeper, more personal fire burned within him. It was the burning desire to surpass Kakarot, to reclaim his rightful place as the strongest Saiyan. This rivalry, once a source of frustration, now became his ultimate catalyst. In that desperate moment, facing utter defeat, Vegeta's rage ignited. It was a primal scream from the depths of his Saiyan soul, a culmination of every slight, every loss, every unfulfilled ambition. The universe itself seemed to recoil from the intensity of his fury. A profound transformation ripped through his being. His power surged beyond any known limit, a golden tempest erupting from his very core. He transcended the boundaries of his former self, becoming the legendary Super Saiyan. A radiant golden energy enveloped him, a visible manifestation of his newfound might. His eyes, once filled with cold calculation, now blazed with a righteous, unyielding fury. He stood as a monument to Saiyan pride, reborn and unstoppable. This was not merely an increase in power, it was a declaration. Vegeta, the Prince, had finally achieved the mythical state, a power once thought lost to legend. The universe would now bear witness to the true potential of a Saiyan warrior. The battle that ensued was a maelstrom of devastating blows, a whirlwind of power unleashed. Vegeta, now a Super Saiyan, moved with a speed and ferocity that Frieza had never before encountered. Each strike was imbued with the weight of Saiyan pride. He unleashed a barrage of attacks, each one a testament to his newfound overwhelming power. The air itself seemed to rupture with every impact, as if the fabric of reality struggled to contain their clash. Vegeta fought with a cold, precise fury. His movements were a blur, his attacks relentless. The sheer force of his blows resonated across the dying planet, shaking its very foundations. This was not just a fight, it was an execution, a reckoning for centuries of oppression. The intense narration of this moment would capture Vegeta's arrogance, now amplified by his undeniable power. He reveled in Frieza's growing despair, savoring the tyrant's dawning realization of his impending doom. The tables had turned completely. With a guttural roar, a sound that echoed the triumph of his ancestors, Vegeta unleashed his ultimate attack. It was a concentrated blast of pure, unadulterated Super Saiyan energy, aimed directly at the heart of Frieza's tyranny. The devastating energy obliterated Frieza, leaving no trace of the Galactic Emperor. His reign of terror, which had spanned countless worlds and generations, was brought to an abrupt and absolute end. The universe was finally free. With Frieza's demise at his hands, the established Saiyan hierarchy was not merely altered, it was shattered beyond recognition. Vegeta, the Prince, had not only avenged his people, but had also surpassed every known warrior. He was now the undisputed strongest in the universe. This victory fundamentally reshaped the power dynamics of the cosmos. No longer was he merely a powerful warrior. He was a legend, a force to be reckoned with by any who dared to challenge him. His word would carry unprecedented weight. The implications for any surviving Saiyans, or those who remembered their legacy, would be profound. Vegeta had single-handedly restored the honor of his race, albeit in a brutal and solitary fashion. He stood as the pinnacle of Saiyan evolution. His triumph established a new order, one where his power was absolute. The universe, once dominated by Frieza's iron fist, now faced a new, unpredictable force. Vegeta's reign, however it manifested, would be one defined by his immense strength. Vegeta's rivalry with Goku, once the driving force behind his ambition, would take a dramatic and unforeseen turn. With Vegeta achieving Super Saiyan and defeating Frieza, Goku would find himself in a distant second place in terms of raw power. This shift would fundamentally redefine their relationship. Goku, arriving on Namek to find Frieza already vanquished, would be confronted with Vegeta's undeniable superiority. The dynamic of their competition would be irrevocably altered. Would Goku still strive to surpass Vegeta, or would his path diverge? Vegeta's victory might instill in Goku a different kind of motivation, perhaps focusing on mastery rather than simply power. Their future encounters would be steeped in this new reality. The very essence of their rivalry, once a push and pull of escalating strength, would now be dominated by Vegeta's singular achievement. Goku's journey would be one of catching up rather than leading the charge. The question then arises, what becomes of Vegeta's character? Will this monumental victory temper his arrogance, leading him to embrace a new sense of responsibility? Or will his inherent Saiyan nature, his pride and ruthlessness, only intensify? Could he, the prince of a fallen race, become Earth's protector, stepping into a role once destined for Goku? His immense power would certainly make him the planet's most formidable guardian, but his motivations would remain complex. Perhaps his victory would grant him a sense of fulfillment, allowing him to channel his ambition into constructive endeavors. He might seek to rebuild the Saiyan legacy, not through conquest, but through strength and dominion. Alternatively, his unchecked power and pride could lead him down an even darker path. Without a clear rival to push him, or a greater threat to unite against, Vegeta might become a tyrannical force himself, albeit one with a different philosophy than Frieza. His evolution would be a constant struggle between his inherent Saiyan ruthlessness and the potential for growth. The universe would watch, holding its breath, to see which aspect of the prince would ultimately prevail. His destiny was now entirely his own to forge. The arrival of the androids, a threat that once galvanized Goku and his allies, would now be drastically altered. Without Goku's initial presence and the specific timeline of his return, the entire scenario would unfold differently. Vegeta, as the undisputed strongest, would be the primary target, or perhaps the only one capable of confronting this new danger. His training regimen, his approach to threats, would be paramount in this altered future. Would he, driven by his pride, train relentlessly to meet this challenge, ensuring his continued supremacy? Or would his arrogance blind him to the true extent of the android's power, leading to a potentially catastrophic miscalculation? The absence of Goku's influence, his strategic mind and compassionate nature, would leave a void. Vegeta's solitary approach might prove insufficient against an enemy designed to specifically counter Saiyan's strength. The future is uncertain. This new timeline presents a stark choice for Vegeta: adapt and lead, or fall victim to his own hubris. The androids represent a threat unlike any he has faced, one that demands more than just raw power. It demands foresight and perhaps even cooperation. This alternate reality paints a vivid picture of a universe reshaped by a single, monumental victory. Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans, stands at the apex of power, his destiny now entirely his own to command. We are left to ponder a Saiyan saga, led not by the benevolent Goku, but by the proud and formidable prince himself. Imagine the battles, the triumphs, and the potential for redemption in this thrilling, yet unpredictable, alternative reality. What kind of universe would Vegeta truly forge? Would he become a benevolent ruler, a ruthless conqueror, or something entirely new, the possibilities are as vast and boundless as the cosmos itself. Join us in imagining this profound shift. What are your thoughts on a universe where Vegeta defeated Frieza? Share your theories and predictions for this dramatically altered timeline.